everyone, I'm Melanie Brown and welcome to Mel's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making a fun, quick, and easy meal, and I'm going to have a little helper in the kitchen with me tonight. We're going to be making a corndog bake topped with chili, cheese, and green onions, so come on along. Because this is a quick weeknight meal, we're going to take some shortcuts here. Of course, homemade chili is always absolutely the best, and usually that's my favorite thing to do, is make it from scratch. But I want to take a little shortcut and do something a little different. I've got some canned chili here, but I'm going to do some doctrine to this canned chili because we can't just use canned chili. It's not going to happen. So first thing I'm going to do is saute up some onions in my pan and then brown up some ground beef. What I have here is just 1 pound of ground beef, and I'm going to start with that, and then I'll show you what we do next. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get these onions in here and get those going. I'm just going to saute them up until they're nice and transparent. And as I said, I'm going to have a helper in the kitchen in a little while, and I'm going to tell you, I think it's really important to get kids in the kitchen. Eating, food, it's an essential part of life. We all need to eat, and knowing how to cook for yourself is what I consider it to be a really crucial life skill. So start with something simple. Get them in the kitchen, engage them, make it fun, and make some memories while you're at it. Alright, so the onions are browning up pretty good, and I'm going to go ahead and add my ground beef to the pan and just get it cooked up. Just break it up here a little bit. Cook it until it's nice and brown and cook through. Alright, so got that in the pan. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some seasoning. Right here I have about a teaspoon of cumin and about a tablespoon of chili powder. Just going to sprinkle that in. I'm going to also add probably maybe a half teaspoon of salt. Don't want to add too much. We can taste it later, and if you need more, add more. So we get that going in there as well. And then I'm just going to go ahead and let this finish. Alright, so our meat is browned up and we got a good sizzle going on. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding some extra things in here. As I told you, we're going to start with some canned chili. So I'm going to add that in. This is plain old canned, nothing special canned chili. This is no beans added chili because that's just what I had. So I'm going to put 2 cans in here. I'm also going to add to this 1 can of beans because there are no beans in that chili. So I'm going to add 1 can of beans in here. Any kind of beans you want to add, you can add. Doesn't matter. 1 can of diced tomatoes. That's just a 14-ounce can. And then just a small little can of tomato sauce. Now I'm going to blend this all together and just let it simmer. Alright, so we're getting this all blended together right now. I'm going to go ahead and add to it also about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and that's just to cut some of the acidity in the tomatoes and the tomato sauce. So I'm going to let this simmer and then give it a taste. And you know, you can always adjust the seasoning if you'd like. If you want it a little spicier, add a little crushed red pepper. You could always add some more chili powder to this. Also, always, always, always taste for salt and pepper. All right, so chili is looking really good. It's nice and bubbly. I'm gonna give it a taste for seasoning. Like I said, always, always taste. Adjust the seasoning to your taste. You want it a little spicier, make it a little spicier. You want a little more chili powder in there, add a little more. You know, it's all about you. You're the one eating it, so make sure it's the way you like it. When I do these recipes, I'm giving you a guide, and you can always adjust it. All right, so that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead, shut it off here, set it aside, and we're gonna start the second part of this recipe. All right, I'm back in the kitchen for part 2 of this recipe, and here's my little helper. So Ryland's gonna help me make the corn muffin mix. This is just boxed corn muffin mix. Like I said, this is an easy weeknight recipe. So we're gonna follow the directions on the package, mix it up, and we're gonna then show you what we're gonna do with it. According to the package, we just need 1 egg and a 1/3 cup of milk per box. So we're doing 2 boxes here. So that's what we're gonna start with. So we're gonna get this open and get it in the bowl. All right, so Ryland's got the corn muffin mix in there. You wanna go ahead and add the milk to it? Good job. And now we just need 2 eggs. So you can crack the eggs right in here. Crack it in here first. It's okay. We're gonna pull it apart. Good job, buddy. Yeah, now dump that in there. Do you remember why we do that?
To make sure it's not a bad egg.
That's right. Make sure it's not a bad egg, and we also don't want any shells in there. So if we get a shell in here, we can always pick it out, right? Okay. All right, and it goes.
Let's drop the balls slowly.
And then start mixing it up.
Mix, mix, mix.
Get it. All right, Ryland, you're working pretty hard on that over there, Ryland. You're doing a good job, buddy. You getting it all mixed up? Mm-hmm. All right. All right, Ryland, you ready for step 2? You gonna tell them what we're gonna do?
We're gonna pour into the pan.
Yep, I've actually greased this pan. We're gonna put half of it in there to start with, okay? Do you wanna start doing that? You need some help? I'll hold the bowl. We're gonna tilt this down a little bit so they can see what you're doing down here. So I'm gonna hold the bowl and you start scooping. And we're gonna do about half of it. Good job. That's probably good. Now we're gonna set this down and we're gonna spread this around in the pan. Okay, just like that. You wanna do it? Just try to cover the whole bottom of the pan. Best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's gonna raise up and fill up that pan when we're all done. We just want a little bit in the bottom so that the hot dogs aren't sitting straight on the bottom, okay? Doing good. Now let me turn it around. And then you can take some of this, see where it's thicker, and pull it that way to you. Good job. All right. So Ryland got that all done. And now we're gonna go ahead and add our hot dogs in there, right, buddy? Okay, Here you go. You gonna show them how to do it? All right.
Take a hot dog, put it in.
Okay. Just like that, right? I'm gonna put them close enough together you can fit them all in there. You might need to scoot them over a little bit. Just kind of roll them. There you go. Make some room for this one. And we're gonna do our other ones the same way. You know, I say it all the time. It's important to get the kids in the kitchen to cook. Learning how to cook, it's an important skill. And you're making memories. Memories that'll last a lifetime. So the next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and put the rest of our mixture right on top of this. And then we're gonna try to just evenly distribute it. Do you wanna help? Okay. All right. So we got it all in there, and we're just gonna, I'm gonna help Rylan out here a little bit. We're just gonna try to spread it around the best we can. It's not gonna completely cover them, and that's okay, because as it bakes, the cornbread mixture is gonna puff up and bake up around these. You might see a little bit of it sticking out at the top, and that's okay. All right, so here's what we got. It's looking pretty good. It's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be. It's perfectly imperfect. That's the thing about cooking with kids. You want to do things simple and easy. That's how you get them engaged, get them excited about cooking. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven and bake it according to the package directions. And we may possibly need to let it go a little bit longer just because of the hot dogs being in there, but we're just gonna keep our eye on it, take a peek at it, and play it by ear. Ready? Ready for it to go in, buddy? All right, give them a thumbs up. All right, so we just pulled our corn dog bake out of the oven. It's super hot. I went ahead and brushed the top of it with butter, and Rylan is gonna sprinkle the top with cheese. Ready? Show them what you got. Put it as much as you want, okay? That's a rule of thumb. Remember, this is pan tossed, so don't touch the pan, okay? Okay, get it all over there. While it's still hot, you want to put that cheese on there. That way it'll melt.
Cheese is cold.
Yeah, the cheese is kind of cold. But if you just let it sit there for a minute or so, it'll start melting. Good job, buddy. You're doing good.
A lot of cheese.
It is a lot of cheese. You're gonna make it really extra cheesy, aren't you? You like cheese though, don't you? Yeah. What do you think?
Yum.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get a cut here in a second, right? And then we're gonna show them how we plate this up. We got the hot dog, and then we're gonna put a little chili on there, a little extra cheese, some green onion. All right. All right, so it is looking really good, isn't it, buddy? All right, so I did actually put it back in the oven for about 2 minutes just because I was impatient and didn't want to wait for the cheese to melt. So this is what we've got. Doesn't that look good? All right, so now we're gonna cut it. So just gonna cut right down through here between the hot dogs. You may not cut them perfect. You gotta kind of eyeball it because hot dogs kind of disappear on you a little bit. And then we're gonna see what we've got.
That one piece is
Yeah, some are a little bit big, huh? Let me cut them a little crazy, huh? All right. Got a kitty over here. I think she smells the food. Let's see if we can get one out of here. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yummy.
Can you see the hot dog in there? Oh.
Yeah. It smells delicious.
Does it? All right. Okay, so we got one out, right, bud? Right, Rylan?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we gonna do next?
Put salsa on it.
The chili.
Yeah.
We're gonna top it with the chili. A little bit more. Maybe just a tad more cheese. Just a little sprinkle right on top.
That's a lot of chili.
And then we're gonna top it with
Leaf.
with leaves. How about a few green onions? How do you think that looks? All right, and there you have it. This is our corn dog bake with chili, cheese, and green onions. Give it a thumbs up. All right, now we gotta try it. All right, Rylan, you ready to try it?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's see what we got. Ready? Tell me what you think.
Yummy.
Pretty good, and kid approved, so there you have it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Rylan enjoyed making it, right, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
And like it and share it, and please let us know what you think, because we want to hear about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks. Have a good night.